Hey y'all, hey, it's Tracy time. It's a magnificent Monday. How y'all doing in the land? What's going on? That's what I want to know. How you doing? How y'all are? I am doing fantastic today. I am coming to you live from my desk. I have a lot of work to do, and I want to be able to get to it. And, you know, I tell everybody, you know, you need to get up and get to it. And so I'm trying to make sure I take my own advice and not just talk, but walk, you know, do the stuff. Because there's a whole bunch of people talking a whole bunch of stuff right now. And wow, what y'all doing? What y'all eating for lunch today? What's going on? That's what I want to know. What is going on in the land? How y'all are? Who is ready for a magnificent Monday? That's what I want to know. How y'all doing? Tell me something good. Tell me something good. What you know good. How y'all doing? You can see my glare from my glasses, but you know it is what it is. Just everyday amazing over here. Trying to make sure I bring truth, honesty, a little bit of breathing air, and peace and calm, light and love. And today, for Live and Lunch, we are talking about the video that I shared over the weekend. Did y'all get a chance to see it? The video that I shared this weekend was about how one protester, an activist, was talking about how, hey, VJ, she talked about how she was frustrated, right? And that she understood exactly why. Oh, thank you. I have the camera turned differently today, so I'm going to look at myself on this live and see if I can keep up with the comments, because the landscape view as opposed to the portrait view doesn't show me all the comments. So the light, part of the light that you see in my eyes is the light from having another device in my hand. And I think what I'm going to do is turn my laptop on so I can look at it like that. But so the video, did you guys get a chance to see the video? Did you watch the video? I want to know, and I posted it early enough for us to really be able to have some engaging interaction about it, because here's what I can tell you. She brought up 2 points about people in this country, black people in this country, that had created their own sustainable environments and of wealth and well-being. You know, the pursuit of happiness had been achieved. And so we have the Rosewoods, right? And then we have Black Wall Street, and how they were just completely demolished and people were mistreated. And so I want to know, what is your take on that? I'm interested in knowing how are you thinking? What's your thought? Did you watch the video? And if you did, tell me what you hey, Satrina, thank you. Angie Castor, Hair Angel Love, did my hair. So shout out to her. Just tell me, what did you think? You know, I want to know, because here's what I can tell you. If we are in a position, right, where we can absolutely say, you need to get your own. You get your own. And we get our own, and then our own is taken. What happens with that? Is that also, as Reverend Al Sharpton said, the knee on the neck? Because it seems almost impossible for you to be able to have that kind of philosophy to encourage people to get their own, and then you literally rob and remove the opportunity for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for a whole group of people based on their color. One of the other things, hey Jen, one of the other things that I will say is, I thought it was interesting coming out of that's crazy. I'm literally, and that's why I was posted up right here, y'all, literally right by the Wi-Fi router to have as close proximity as possible to Wi-Fi. Because as you know, I've told you, my T-Mobile phone, T-Mobile is still having tower issues in my neighborhood. Somebody please call and let T-Mobile and the MLG&W crew know. Get it together. I mean, this is not the time to have network issues, and it's been going on since actually before the stay-at-home and shelter-in-place. Anyway, so excuse me for the interruption, but tell me what your thoughts. Jen said that she was right on point. How are we supposed to? So she ended up saying that she didn't care if you burn the bee down. meaning the city she was in. And she didn't care if it was burned to the ground because none of it is ours. And the ours being people of color. Tell me, what are your thoughts on that? I want to know. Give me your thoughts. Because we want to create some kind of dialogue. Hey, Adrian. If they left us in our own Chinatown, so to speak, we'd be fine. That's what Jen said. And then she said they don't want us to be free of them because they cannot function without us. Now, that's an interesting take on that, Jen. Tell me what you mean. Give me more about that. They can't function without us. What does that mean? And I'm getting my laptop together so I can be more efficient and see y'all better. Tell me what that means. Because here's what I want to know. Two things. Thank you all so much for tuning in with me while you're typing your responses. Hey, Felicia, I want to know. Hey, Lisa, I want to know. I want you to know how much I appreciate you connecting with me on Friday. My sister and I did have the interview, and we'll connect again so that we can have it in a recorded session. What I learned about the rooms on Facebook is that if there is a feature to record, that I did not see that feature. And so then, unlike us being live now, where this is actually capturing our live footage on my timeline, the rooms does not do that. It literally treats it as an isolated video, much in the way that their competing video Zoom offering does, except that for the Zoom, it gives you the option to record. And so the people that were in the room with us had a very lively engagement with my sister Jackie Rowe Fields with regard to our discussion about mothering children and having sons and daughters now at a time like this. We had a very lively conversation, and I'm looking forward to us revisiting that. If you have not yet had the opportunity to look at what I have planned for this month in terms of guests, we're going to use the Monday format for current events, and then on this Wednesday, I'm excited to communicate and advise that Janice Johnson-Lee, who is the vice president of MICA Memphis, is going to be joining me as my live guest. So I'm looking forward to having a conversation with her. She, at the clergyman press conference, or clergyperson press conference last week, shared her thoughts, and that the allies that are in existence all around us, we've had phenomenal support as a Black community from so many people that are not Black. And we need all people. This is all hands on deck, right? And so what we want, hey, Ashley, is for other people that are allies to be verbal and not silent right now. It's important. And so she said to her white brothers and sisters, I need for you to listen and to engage and to understand. And so we're going to have a conversation with her on Wednesday to get from her perspective. I wanted to make sure that this is comprehensive and inclusive, and so that we have the opportunity to connect and hear from perspectives from all over the board. And so if there's someone else you want, I would really love to be able to talk to someone who, like Candace Owens and the like, don't really believe that this is a systemic racism issue, that police brutality exists. And so if you know someone like that, or if you believe that, then, step up. I won't beat you down because it's your views. I don't agree with it. I think it's awful, but I can appreciate your perspective. On Friday, 1 week before we celebrate Juneteenth, on June 12th, we will have Reverend Dr. Earl Fisher, who is the senior pastor of Vicinity Baptist Church. He, if you know, is a activist, a pastor, a theologian. He is the founder, if not the founder, one of the founders of Up the Vote 901. And so obviously I want to talk to him about his perspective as a pastor, as a Black clergy person, and as an activist for voters' right and the People's Conference here in Memphis. And so if you have the opportunity to tune in with me on Wednesday and Friday, I look forward to it. It's going to be very lively and engaging and hopefully informative interactions. All right, so did they give y'all a chance to see? You said Jen, you gave me your 2 cents. You were clear. I appreciate that. Yep. Okay. Hey, Linda. And then I posted a question for those of you who have also had the opportunity to go to my website. Thank you. As a certified master coach, I have been actively engaged from the beginning of this. It started in me hoping to have a connection, and I wanted to do that, and I'm so grateful that you're here with me and spending time with me, and I appreciate all the love and support that you all provided when I posted the newly updated website for tracytrowe.com for the services I provide as a certified master coach, moderator, and the other services I offer, including consulting and voice acting. So thank you so much. Please spread the word, share that. I believe that helping people is what I am supposed to do. I think that's what I'm here for, and I'm happy about it. I've been an advocate from early childhood on. My mom has this great story, but we're not gonna get into that. So this lady on the video, y'all, she brought it. Hey, Winslow. Hey, Janelle, my cousin. Listen, the video we're talking about is the video that I posted over the weekend, where the young lady who was talking about how Black Wall Street and Rosewood were established, functioning, and thriving in this country, and were absolutely demolished, vandalized, and obliterated. I want to know what you think about that, because for so many years now, we've been told, you know, that people of color cannot organize, can't sustain businesses, can't function in thriving communities, and we proved that was false. We proved it was false. And so now we're in an environment where it is likely that there will be other communities and other things that happen. I saw an article or a report this morning where a young lady wanted to have her own policing in her community, and they're trying to work with the community in Minneapolis to create that. And so once again, out of the need comes the absolute existence of these organizations and activism. So I'm interested in knowing from your perspective, what were your thoughts on what she said? She was so passionate about her comments. She said that once we establish them, they burn them down. So then how are we supposed to maintain that if we are not given an opportunity? And much in the way that Reverend Al Sharpton said so poignantly as he delivered the eulogy last week, if we can do all these things, but we still have a knee on our necks, how are we supposed to maintain and function and live in that life, you know, the liberty and pursuit of happiness? How does that work? How do you do that? Well, one of the things I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I think it's twofold, and this is not pejorative, but this is a twofold thing that I know you and I can do right now, is make sure that you're registered to vote. Hello, somebody. Ask another person if they are registered to vote. Hello, somebody. Ask somebody, you know, ask your neighbor, ask your friend. You got folks in the household with you. You got people you talk to on a regular basis. Ask them. Don't be unafraid. This isn't even as deep as, is it right with your soul? Is it well? This not this deep. This is literally saying, hey, you know what? You're a human. You're a citizen of the United States. You have a right. You have a right, an inalienable right to vote, right? So if you got people who are in a position where you can say to them, have you exercised your right to vote? Are you registered to vote? Just ask one person. The other thing is, we want to be counted. That young lady talked about the fact that we don't count, that so many people in America, people of color, don't count. One of the ways that you can count, another way that you can count, is by completing and returning the census. If you have not done the census, somebody give me a thumbs up if you've done, hey Erica, if you've done your census. Have you completed the census, the 2020 census? Because guess what? Funding, information about education, community services, all of that information, not to mention the fact that if you end up your great family members forward, come back and want to find out more about your history and your family's history, your ancestral history, the census is what is being used. I can tell you, my sister is doing a fantastic family search for my father, my paternal side of the family, and she's using the census. It's the census. So if you haven't completed the census, we need to do that. I'm going to post a link after we finish this live to ensure that you have access. If you haven't completed the census, it takes very little time. Actually, by the time we finish here, you would have already been done with the census. It's a few questions. And so I encourage you to do that. Who's giving me a thumbs up or likes? Oh, thank you, Erica. I'm looking to the side because I have this laterally. Hopefully this gives a better view than the portrait. I'm learning as I go, y'all. You know, I just told you, every day amazing. That's all I'm trying to make sure that I do is just honor where you are, you know? And that's why this is no condemnation. This is not me pointing the finger saying you need to do it. You're doing a terrible job. This is me saying, hey, I'm with you. I got the census. I remember putting it in a stack of stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, in April I need to have this done. So I wanted to make sure I got it done, but it's not too late. Do the census online. I'm going to post it. And then y'all just ask one person today if they're registered to vote. And I'm going to post that again. I have those two things. Those are my two asks, right? We want to help. We have to be part of the solution here if we want to be part of this change. And we need to be really clear about what it is we want, right? The video of the young lady I thought was wonderful because she was passionate and she was very informative. All the things she said was absolutely right. And we are accountable, right? We need to be held accountable for what it is that we're doing. Yes, thank you. Thank you, cousin Janelle. She just completed her census last week. Thank you. Ask people in our families, talking to our friends, our girlfriends, brothers, sisters, cousins, uncles, neighbors. Have you completed your census? It matters. I don't know why people, and it doesn't, it's not, there's nothing counted against you. There's no penalty, okay? And then Adrian with Panache South said that the Panache South and Hair Angel Love will have voters registration and address change forms. Yes, they have them available at Hair Angel Love at 2740 Bartlett Boulevard. If you are in the area and need a paper form, if you do not have access, I can tell you that the links that I share, the voters registration links, are forms that are PDF forms, but you can fill them out. And for the change of address, you would have to complete it and then take a picture of it, and you could email it to the voters registration. But for the actual applications online, they have them for you to submit. So I'm encouraging you. But thank you so much, Adrian, for doing that. And it was my pleasure to print the forms. And if there are other people who want to have the forms and are in a position where they have people coming regularly, other barbershops and salons and other people who have nail salons, if you are a person that comes into contact with the public and they need to have these forms, let me know. Let me know. I will. And I'm just at home. Okay, I'm sheltering at home, but for me, it's worth the price of ink for the person to be empowered to exercise their right to vote. Okay, so that is some of the things that you guys poured into. I want to say this is June. It was in March or April when people made contributions. That's what I did. I got ink. I got stuff to be able to pour back into our community. So I want to be able to offer that as a service that I'm happy to provide. Hey, Derek. And so, what do you guys think? Have you heard about the hashtag 8? Okay, so I've posted that. I want to make sure that I'm keeping that. Let's keep each other informed. That's what we promised last week, that we keep each other informed. We know that there are three different protests scheduled today, peaceful protests that are scheduled today in the city of Memphis. 2 of them, I believe, are led by, I think all 3 are led by 3 different organizations. And so here's my point. I'm going to say this, and this is going to be my wrap. And I want to get your opinion on this, y'all, for real. I've reached out and, we'll continue to reach out through this platform to people that are organizing protests, because I still have young adults who are coming to me saying, hey, Tracy, what can I do? I need to get that information to them. So if you know someone in the city who are saying, how can I get involved? How can I help? I don't necessarily have to march, but I want to be able to do something to contribute to this movement. And my sister coined this beautifully Friday in the conversation that she and I had, that she said, this is a Floyd revolution. And I love that. And so listen, what can we do? And the other thing I want to know, and this is not a knock, this is really truly a question, y'all. If we have different organizations that are scheduling protests and they have them organized at 3 different times by 3 different groups of people, Is it possible for us to be able to get together and be on the same accord? Can we be on one accord? It's a question. How can we get on one accord? Is that the desire, or are these protests looking for different things? And of course, I will be remiss if I didn't mention two things in closing. Is hey Matita, how you doing? Hey Judy Cummins. Hey Sanjay Kumar, how are you doing? So I'd be remiss if I didn't say these last two things. While protests were happening peacefully here in the city of Memphis, in Midtown Memphis, a young man took it upon himself to take his vehicle and plow into people, pedestrians, protesters. Now, I know you want to ask yourself, what happened to that young man? What do you think should have happened to him, y'all? What do you think should have happened to him? That's what I want to know. What do you think should have happened? What do you think should have happened? Well, let me tell you what did happen. He was detained. He was charged with some vehicular manslaughter charges, lightweight charges, and then released on his own recognizance. What the heck? What the heck? Are you kidding me with that? How does that make sense? You didn't accidentally get in your vehicle and run over people. That you were intentional. You were planning to cause harm. I don't get it. I don't understand what's happening. And in the midst of everything that's going on now, really police officers, really judicial system, really. So I'm going to say that. And then because all of these things that we talk about, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, on Thursdays, during Thursdays, this is all about us being empowered. We need knowledge, information, and action. We are in a position of power, much in the way that the NFL players were making demands and got them met, much in the way that we, the protesters, are out and making demands and they are being met. The National Football League's commissioner literally said out of his own mouth, Black Lives Matter on this weekend. Yeah, it was just good press. It was great for optics. But here's the thing I'm going to say to you about that. Put Kaepernick back in rotation. Get him on the team, and then we'll see. Because, you know, we had somebody named that's 45 saying that he was, a son of a bee because he kneeled. It had nothing to do with him not being a patriot and not honoring the flag. It had everything to do with what's happening right dang on now. So, Varsha, how you doing? Hey, Rebecca. Okay, Judy said something. Judy said, yeah, and his mustache, there's a smirk on his face. I know. Oh, see that takes you to another level. Judy, you said we have two-tiered justice system, one that works and one that works against POC, people of color, POC. They arrested, protested here that were not destructive and looting. They have a $75,000 bonds. See, this is what I'm talking about. Thank you, Judy. Right. How do you have a $75,000 bond for literally walking in the street, holding your hand up, holding your hands up, saying, I can't breathe, don't shoot, holding your thing, saying no justice, no peace, and then you get arrested and have a $75,000 bond, but you can get in a car, a vehicle, tons and tons of equipment, and plow into people, human beings, flesh and blood, pedestrians, not another car, y'all. And you're released on your own recognizance. How? Okay. And so we've got work to do. We still have work to do. Us coming together here is important, but we've got work to do. It's incumbent upon me and it's incumbent upon you to be a part of the change that we want to see. We've got to do it. The time is now. You know the saying, the striking while the iron is hot? That young lady was right. But what she was talking about was things that happened in the past. And what's happened in the past should give us the history and information to move forward now so that we don't continue to repeat and have the same results that we had from all these people being moved into power. And what we now have that I think is creating a phenomenal shift is the young people of all hues are out mad as hell. And I think that makes a difference because we need to empower them and encourage them that we can do this and we can literally create some positive change for this country. So do your part. Get registered to vote. Complete the census. Get engaged. I promise as I get information, I will share it. And then let's now take, a moment to pray for the family of George Floyd, because they have yet another memorial service scheduled for this afternoon. And then they have their private service tomorrow for the family. They are gathering at the church in Houston, and his body will be laid to rest next to his mother. And so we are sending condolences, loving thoughts and prayers to the Floyd family and all of his friends. They will have, as I understand it, at the church, a viewing and a farewell, if you will, that will allow them to come close to the casket singularly and have their moment to create some level of closure for them. And so let's pray for peace for that experience for all those people. Let's pray for safety. And y'all, let me say this in closing. Coronavirus is still very much active. It's here. We still got it. Because what we have going on is so important that people are willing to risk their safety and well-being in the midst of this. The coronavirus is still very much a part of what we have happening in our country. If you haven't had a look at the numbers, they have not, with the exception of New York City, thanks to Governor Cuomo, the curve has not been flattened here. The curve is still doing this. It's going up. We haven't flattened anything unilaterally across the country. And so I just ask for you, those of you who have loved ones, and all of us do. So that means I'm asking all of you, tell people be safe, wear masks, social distancing. Every time you say something, a little droplet comes out of your mouth potentially and your nose, and then you're exposing other people and you're getting exposed. We just want to be safe. We don't want to lose anyone else in this fight. We really just can't. We can't handle it at this point. I know I can't. I'll speak for myself. It's already enough. Nashville just got body cameras today. Okay. Nashville got body cameras. Okay, that's one great thing. I'm gonna post the from the organization that has the 8 requests that they are saying will cause the most impactful change and create some it will initially address and I think resolve some of the issues with police brutality and this systemic racism. But y'all, okay, I try to stay within my 30 minutes. It's so much to talk about. Ooh. Let me know what questions you have that you want to ask. Send those to me, what questions you have that you want to ask for Janice Lee and for Reverend Dr. Earl Fisher for Wednesday and Friday, respectfully. If you have anything that you want to ask them, this will be a great time. Send them to me and I can ask them in advance as I prepare for my interaction with them. And then, okay. I just want y'all to be safe, and I want us to be smart, and I want us to be purposeful and intentional and mindful of what we're doing. And so while there is so much, and there's going to still be opposition coming from every direction, we're going to be faced with some real opportunities here too. We are going to have, as Nancy Pelosi and the Congress, they have passed some legislation that will make some meaningful impact. But I just want y'all to know, we still got Rand Paul, we still got people blocking lynching bills. Like, it's 2020. Are you kidding? Could you be any more racist than that? Like, what the heck? So that blows my mind that on the one hand, we have people, the Mitch McConnells who are protesting and saying that Black Lives Matter. And then we have Paul Rand who is saying, well, I'm not going to block the anti-lynching bill. I mean, I'm going to block it. Like, it's 2020, y'all. We got to do better. Because here's the thing that I can say to you. Despite the fact that policing in the United States of America started from hunting slaves and catching and beating slaves and keeping slaves in line. Hey, Cammie, despite the fact that that was the catalyst for policing, so we know that there's a long, deep thread of history that goes along with the mentality of policing in America. It doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be like that. We don't have to have police that is like that. And not every police officer is about that. And not every police officer practices from that perspective. We know that they're good people in every aspect. We also know that in that same vein that not everybody black is a criminal. So I'm going to leave you with this. As you, oh my goodness. Okay, Cammie, I saw this just before I came on live that they were voting, that I knew that city council had proposed. Hold on now. The city council, Minneapolis City Council, had proposed that they dismantle the police department, and they just voted positive in favor of it. Cammie, I want to make sure I got that right. Let me know if what I'm saying is right, or if what I'm saying is wrong, moreover. But is that true? So then here's a question I have. If they want to, the city council, which I think is a bold move, because I understand it, that the Minneapolis Police Department has been has a long, jaded, dark history of police brutality. Well, if we know that just from Derek Chauvin, I mean, good night. If he's representing any portion, then yeah, it may need to be dismantled. But after they dismantle it, the city council is proposing that they police people and keep people protected by doing what? Is what I want to know. So that leads into my final remarks. We have got to be about understanding how municipalities work from a legal perspective. We have got to understand civics. We have got to know the law. We have got to understand that voting is key. It's an elementary thing. It's like laying the foundation for a well-built house. We have got to rebuild the house. And if the city council in Minneapolis is saying this house is done and they burn that joker to the ground and they need to rebuild, then sometimes it takes that. You know, sometimes some homes have so much damage that they can't be structurally sound. Well, if that's what the city council of Minneapolis believes, then so be it. So let me know, Cammie, what the plans are, and then how are they going to go forward with making sure that people in the communities are protected, truly protected and served. And so I'm interested in knowing that. So y'all do this. Who on here, because I want to do a test, y'all. Who on here is willing to come on camera with me and do a test for me to bring you on camera, for me to add you on camera to test out my system, but you need to have your earbuds in. Okay, let's see. What did you say, Cammie? Veto-proof vote. Pledge to replace the police department with a new model of public safety to be determined. Wow. This is huge. This is huge. Okay, keep me posted, Cammie. That's great. That's really great. Keep me posted. I just need somebody who's got earbuds and is on their phone to test. I need you to be on your mobile device and have earbuds, and then be willing to come on camera with me so that I can test right now while I'm on here live with you, so that I can make sure that I'm not losing my mind. Each time, the 2 times so far that I've tried to do this live, I've had these certain parameters that have kept me from being successful, and I'm not having it. I told y'all Friday, and the rooms doesn't work, and I don't want to switch to Zoom because I don't want you to have to shift your interface. I want this to work, so I just need one person. I need somebody. So tell me who. I'm waiting for you to just say I will. In my post, say I will. And I'll bring you on, and it'll be quick. And you don't even have to have your camera on necessarily. I just want to see if you have your earbuds in, if I can hear you. It's really more audio. The visual always works. It's really the audio. Because when I bring people on the camera, you start hearing this gobbledygook, and like that doesn't work. Like, I don't want that to happen. I take time to extend an invitation to our guests and have them come on, and I want it to go well, for them to respect their time and for you to respect your time. So who is willing? Is there one? Now that's church. Is there one? Won't you come? Won't you come? I need one person. We don't have to see you. You can turn your camera off. I just need to do an audio check with you with your earbuds in or your earphones in to tell me that I can bring you on camera while we're live right now, and I can just say greetings and happy Monday to you and let you know I appreciate you and love you. Rebecca Allen, thank you so much. All right, here we go. I'm going to do it. Rebecca Allen is the one, hun. Let's see, Rebecca. Uh-oh. I moved my camera because I'm trying to bring you on, Rebecca. Hold on, let me see if it's gonna let me. And that's the other thing I don't understand. Like it'll let me add viewers. All right, Rebecca, here we go. You should get an invitation from me. Rebecca Allen, thank you so much. All right, here we go. I'm gonna do it. You should get. I'm saying you should get an invitation from me, but. Invite. All right, Rebecca. Let's see. All right, let's see what you got. Well, I got really close to my face, didn't I, y'all? Thank you, Eunice. Thank you. I appreciate you. Let's see. Did she get it, y'all? Because I want this to be seamless on Wednesday. I appreciate y'all so much. I want this to be seamless. Did you get that? You should have the invitation from me. Let's see. Invite. All right, Rebecca. Let's see. That's telling me. Oh wait, hold on, Rebecca. It had you and then it said it didn't. All right, let's see your beautiful face. Let me see you, Rebecca. Jen, you missed all kind of stuff. I talked about all kind of stuff today, because there's so much that happened over the weekend. It's so crazy. And then we can't even get to Ben Carson said, hey.
Hey.
How are you doing? Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Cyber hugs, Rebecca.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you look great. You sound fantastic.
Thank you.
And do I sound okay?
You sound fine.
And now let's see. I'm gonna just check with everybody in here. Y'all, if y'all can see Rebecca and me, please give me what should I have them say, Rebecca? Okay. You look great.
Yeah.
Have them say, you look great. Oh my gosh,
That's
you
right.
Look great, Rebecca. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm kind of lonely, but I'm good.
Well, you just have to join me live. This is great.
I know.
Okay, thank you, Derek. Derek said we look and sound good. Okay, and one of the other things that I love is that I think that having it this way, for me going horizontal, it fills up more of the screen, right?
Yes.
That looks really good, doesn't it, y'all?
We did it.
We did it. Yay! Oh my gosh, Rebecca, this is huge. At some point I'm gonna get so fancy schmancy, y'all. I'm gonna be able to have like our names on the screen and do all that stuff. I'm right now just everyday amazing. Y'all know I'm just trying to make sure we stay connected. That's my biggest thing, right, Rebecca? And so
yes.
You know what? Let me say this while I have you. One of the reasons that I started doing this live at lunch when we started working from home, right? Because I knew that there were going to be people who would need to have some social engagement, right? Right.
Yes.
And so how has this been for you, Rebecca, with me coming on? Has this been helpful? How's it been for you?
It has really helped. I live in an apartment complex. I'm by myself, but I'm thankful that I have technology so that I can video chat with my kids. I can see you, and it's great.
Aside from those loud music loving neighbors you have.
Yes.
You can do
it. They've been good here lately.
That's good. And so you participated and engaged with video, and having this live and being able to interact and see other people has been helpful to you.
Yes.
That makes my heart happy, Rebecca.
I appreciate you very much.
Very happy. And so, how are you doing in the midst of the pandemic, with this protest, with all that's happening in the land? How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Um, I want to learn more. I want to do more. Um, I have people of color in my family,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and it hurts to see what is happening in this world.
Mm-hmm.
And it just breaks my heart. I
Mm-hmm.
have a nephew
Mm-hmm.
that is biracial,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to grow up, and if something happens to him, it would just absolutely kill me.
Right. 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 And the saddest part about it, Rebecca, is that something could happen to him. If we go
That's
based
right.
on the numbers that we see now, that there is nothing that your nephew could do that would be a necessary provocation of any kind of action. He could be running down the street jogging, he could be coming home from the
That's
store,
right.
he could be walking down the street, it could be anything. Literally
Yes, ma'am.
anything. And so that is, it's
Hmm.
very scary. So that you understand, and I'm going to have the conversation with my sister again, where we're live and we have this, because technology got in the way of it. We had a wonderful conversation about that from a family member's perspective and from a mother, because my sister has 5 kids and 3 of her 5 are young men. They're, sons. And so she said there's never a moment where she doesn't
Right.
have some level of worry, concern, and even fear outright that their lives and well-being may be at risk. And the unfortunate part of it is that you you want to encourage your young adults to get engaged, right? There's that thing where they have this energy and zeal and passion for what is right and for justice and fairness. And then on the flip side of that, as a family member, and for her, she said, as a mother, you want them to be safe in the home. And so,
Right.
yeah, finding the balance. How do you strike the balance for that? And for me, as on TT, I have, 10 nieces and nephews, and my oldest nephew, he calls himself number one. Brandon, who has a birthday coming up. Happy birthday month, my love. And he posted a picture on Instagram, and it was like all in one. That's how I felt when I saw it. I was like, yeah, oh, ooh. Like, okay, all right, Brandon, that's great, baby. You did it. You out there. Yep. Okay, now go back home.
That's right.
That's what I wanted to say. And so I
Mhm.
get it. And so, yes, I am so really grateful. Although from the first moment that you and I met, we knew we had some kindred spirit energy was
That's
going
right.
on. And I am grateful that you participate and you're actively engaged and that you want to learn more and that you want to do more. And so then I can tell you one of the reasons that Janice is coming on Wednesday with me is because she is an ally. And like you,
Mhm.
she's engaged, she's participating. And I had another friend who I think is still on here, Cami, who joined us Friday, who is also an ally, who said, I want to be able, she did a self-assessment and said, let me see where I am with this and make sure that I am holding myself accountable as a member of the human race. And so that you want to learn more. What kind of information helps you or would be helpful to you, Rebecca, to hear it from a person of color to better understand how you can be more engaged?
Just, what can be done? What can be done now? I'm all about voting.
Mm-hmm.
I think every person needs to be registered to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to get out and, go knock on doors and ask people if they're registered to vote? Do we
Mm-hmm.
need to hold, rallies?
Mm-hmm.
Um, just what can be done to help?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and how can you make a difference?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've always been about how can you make a difference in someone's life?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I've worked with young children, and that's That's something that really became a passion,
Mm-hmm.
is giving back to a community,
Mm-hmm.
and we've got a community that's hurting and that
Mm-hmm.
needs help,
Mm-hmm.
and what can be done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's what I'm happy to hear you say that, because that is exactly the reason why I try to use this platform, right, to help uplift and educate and inspire. And then in some cases convict people to action, right? And have a call to action for folks who, like you, are saying, I want to do something, but what do I do? And so that's why
Right.
I'm literally putting out a beacon call right now to people who are organizers. And if you are in the sound of my voice right now and you hear me saying, people want to get involved, people want to know what can they do, they are not going to protest out in the streets, but there is still so much work that needs to be done, calls that need to be made to legislature, emails that need to be sent, numbers of people who we can say and share things online that get people signed up to sign petitions. And so those are the kinds of things that I think that for us who want to be in peaceful protests and also in a protected shelter in place because of the coronavirus, we are still, while we may not be able to touch anyone, we still want to be connected to this cause. And so I want to shore you up in knowing that you are affirmed, and I appreciate you for taking this position and for supporting this and being an ally, Rebecca, and for being a brave little soldier to get on here with me today to test. this
You never
this
know.
was a gift that you gave me, and I appreciate you so much for being able to say this. And I'm so grateful that people are staying with us now. We have people that are still on, and let's see. My
I
cousin, I
actually
can't.
have friends on here too.
Oh, yay! Extend invitations to people. I want the more the merrier. I want us to have a fully interactive. And I know that's why sometimes I take time to hey Anthony, hey Nigel, hey Prentice, hey Doran. I'm looking down because this horizontal view really does work wonderfully for this format. The challenge is I can't see the thing, but using my other phone works. I'm just looking away. All right. Tell the good people of Facebook something you want them to know today, Rebecca.
Everyday amazing.
I didn't pay her to say that. She said it on her own. It's working. All the good people in the land, make every day amazing. That's it, Rebecca.
That's right.
Make every day amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you all for joining me today for Live at Lunch. Again, remember, if you have questions you want me to ask Jennifer, not Jennifer, I'm thinking of Jen. Jen on here, Jen Chalms is on here. She came back and said, what did I miss? And I was like, you missed so much. But unlike the rooms we did on Friday, this will be on my post, so you'll be able to come back and see it, Jen. And as we always say, thank you so much. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm going to send you cyber hugs. I want you to send the questions if you have anything to Janice Johnson Lee and for Reverend Dr. Earl Fisher for my Wednesday guest and my Friday guest. And then I will promise, pinky swear, any information I get, I'm going to share it. And if you have voters registration forms that you need printed and you don't have access to a printer, let me know. I have a printer here. I bought ink for the printer with the money that you guys poured into me to pour into that. I am giving that back and paying that forward to our community. I will post the link for voters registration, the link for the census, and then I will post the 8 demands that we are hopefully going to connect together and say this is what we want to have changed so that this horrible history of police brutality can come to an end. Is there anything I forgot to tell y'all? I told you you matter to me. Oh, I didn't tell you. You matter to me. You matter to me. And I told you I love you. I'm sending you cyber hugs. I want you in closing to make sure that you tune in on Wednesday with me at 11:30 for my special guest, Janice Johnson Lee, who is the vice president of MICA Memphis. And if you have not yet looked up and joined MICA, what you waiting on? MICAH Memphis. Look it up, Google it, and become engaged. There are tons of things that they do now that's all virtual, and it's all stuff. It's so well organized and so well managed and run. I'm just proud to be connected to them. And then Thirsty Thursdays. We can't forget that. That's my sip. Sip, sigh, and say. Thirsty Thursdays. All right, good people. I hope that you have a magnificent Monday. Make your mark. Make it magical. We need a little magic. So spread some magic around. Send love and spread
Spread
love.
some pixie dust.
Yes, we need a little pixie dust, don't we, Rebecca? Y'all have a fantastic day. I love you. Make every day amazing. And if nothing else, live like it's a gift because it truly is. All righty. I'll see you back here on Wednesday. Thank you, Rebecca. Mwah. Cyber hugs.
Mwah.